Alright guys, so this video is going to be an explanation of how Trello works for those of you who are unfamiliar with the software. Trello is essentially just a software that makes it really easy to track and organize projects. The simplest way to think about it is it's kind of like a glorified virtual whiteboard. So I'm going to show you the basic features and functions so that you understand kind of the gist of what's going on. So we'll use this document right here, and you'll be able to actually access this Trello Basics document. But here's each term and a definition. So board. A Trello board is the overarching board that contains the lists and cards. So to make that a little clear, this is the board. The whole thing here, this is a Trello board. And you might have different boards here, but this is the one that you're going to be working on for CoolCat. CoolCat, Staff, Task Force. So that is the board. Contained within each board is a list. So this is what the list looks like. So each of these columns here, these are called lists. And you'll see that they're all labeled differently. Some of them are by division. Some of them, some of them are specific features that we're going to need to go over. Now inside of each list is a Trello card. So board, list, and then these guys right here, these are cards. Each of these are cards. So each card has a front of the card, and a back of the card. So the front of the card shows the card title, card member, label, due date, if there's any checklists on it, and if there's any new notifications. So right here, obviously, you have the card name. This little blue blotch right here, that's the label. Our labels actually go by division. Then when you go ahead and click on the card, so this is the front of the card, you click on it, this is the back of the card. In theory, it's called the back of the card. So on the back of the card, you'll see that it contains the above information in addition to the card description, any checklists, comments, activity logs, and buttons to further edit the card, such as members, labels, checklist, due date, attachment, move, copy, subscribe, archive, share, and more. So I'm going to break down each of these functions here. So the first thing on the back of the card is the card description. So you'll see right here, description. Each card description on this board is going to have something called desired outcome, which is basically just a more thorough explanation of what the point of this card actually is. What are you shooting for? What's the goal of this? So in this particular card's case, the desired outcome is to begin building a relationship with your client, say hello, provide contact information, offer a chance to schedule the first client. Basically, the desired outcome is a debriefing of what's expected. Checklists. So checklists are for organizing thoughts and creating to-do lists. So our checklists are usually going to be titled Steps to Achieve Desired Outcome. So basically, how are you going to actually achieve this right here? To make a checklist, you just click on checklist and then you title it, and then it appears down there. So the checklist is pretty straightforward. You can go ahead and check things off. You can also click hide completed items, and then as you check things off, you don't have to look at it, which is convenient. Beyond that, you have comments. So comments are useful for keeping a log of communication between coworkers. You can tag people, and they'll receive a notification. So the comments are right down here. So I can go ahead and say something along the lines of, hey Eric, did you get the latest voiceover for this event? Something like that. Doesn't totally matter what it is, but whatever I say, what this will do is it will trigger a notification on Eric's Trello. He'll also get a phone notification, which is useful. So then anyone can communicate back and forth on this card. You don't even have to be a member of it. You can just click on it and you can communicate with anybody, which is definitely useful. You can tag people specifically. Let's say you want to make sure they get a notification. Let's say you want to make sure that Vinny sees it. You can just tag @ and then type in their username, and this will give them a notification. Hey, check this out. And then I would click save comment, but I don't want to actually give them a notification, so I'm going to delete that. Activity logs keep track of everything that has happened on the card, who did it, and it gives a timestamp. So you'll see down here, a brief history of just different things I've done with this card. But every time you check something off or perform really any activity on the card, it's logged down here, which is very useful. Members indicate the person responsible for the card. So what that really means is if you're the member, so in this case this card would be Eric. So I would assign Eric as the member, who's right here. So now Eric would know that he's responsible for this card because his face is on it. If your face is on the card, or rather if you're the member of the card, you're going to get any updates on any activity that happens on this card. So it's a very easy, useful way to see what you're expected to actually handle. You know, what is your task? What is your duty? So a very, very easy way to see which cards you specifically are a member of, because you don't really have to worry about other people's cards, is to just click the Q letter on your keyboard. And you'll see that now only the cards that I'm a member of show up here. Moving beyond that, labels. So labels indicate which division the card applies to. So as I said before, there's different labels for different divisions. An example, so blue is DJ, green is photography, but I'll show you the whole list here. Green photography, yellow officiant, orange human resources, red photo booth, purple videography, blue DJ, light blue sales and marketing, teal travel, and then pink is probably under construction. Black is events by Cool Cat, just as a whole. So these might get tweaked slightly from now until whenever as we develop this board, but in general the core divisions are each going to be these colors right here. So definitely useful to get a handle for that, but it's not imperative. Attachment allows you to attach files to the card, so this is definitely helpful. You go ahead and click on the card, you click attachment, and then you can attach links, you can attach files from your computer. However, these need to be relatively small if you're uploading it from your computer, because Trello only hosts some small amount of data. I forget the exact amount. You can attach from Google Drive, Dropbox, or any of these applications here. We use Google Drive, so your best bet is to upload something to the Cool Cat Office Gmail account and attach it right onto a card if you ever needed to do that. Move allows you to move the card to a different list. Pretty straightforward. Move, and then you can pick where you want to send it. Subscribe gives you a notification anytime there's activity on that card. So you can go ahead and click subscribe, and even if you're not a member of it, you'll get updates on that card. Archive moves the card off of the board into the archive bin. Archived cards can be retrieved at any time. So you're probably not going to have to do any archiving, but if you accidentally archive something, so let's say you click archive right here. So now this card is hidden, it's in the archive bin. If you accidentally do that, just go ahead and find the card and click send to board, and it'll send it back to where it was to begin with. Share and More gives you a link to that card that you can copy and paste anywhere, so this is very useful. You click Share and More here, you copy this link, and then you can paste it into any other card. Let's say, for example, you wanted to put it down here, paste that link right there, and boom, you got a clickable link that takes you right to the card, which is definitely useful at times. Due dates. There's not a specific reason that we'll be using due dates as of right now. That could change, but they're definitely a handy feature in general. Feel free to use due dates just for your own organizational purposes for now. So to do it, you would just click on the card, due date, and then you can set a time and due date, and it'll give you a little update once the card is almost past due and then once it's past due. So that is the very basics. Obviously, you can move cards around list to list. Trello is very flexible like that. You can shuffle cards in the list. You can also move lists around, but please don't move too much around. We're trying to keep everything in the same spot so that it's easy to track. But yeah, I mean, that is the very basics of kind of the key features of Trello. and I think that as we all use it, you guys will really get a lot out of it. I use Trello for more than just work. It's just a very, very useful way to get organized. You can use it for all sorts of things in life: recipes, workout plans, planning vacations. It's really fantastic. And I think you guys, if it's a little intimidating at first, as you get going with it, you'll definitely learn to like it, and you might even get addicted to it.